Hello everyone and welcome, this is Common and Cam. Today we're going to be showcasing more Transformers Bumblebee concept art, a bit more in depth, like different kinds of angles of the characters and more concept art and sketches. And we actually do have a bio from each individual character from the artist himself, Steven Zavala. This is from artstation.com. I will leave a link in the description below so you can look at them for yourself in high resolution images. Now let's start off with the first character, Brawn. To which Steven says he was the first Transformer he designed for the Cybertron sequence, and it was apparently the easiest, meaning that it didn't go through a lot of changes, few changes make everyone happy, and looking at a close-up of Brawn's face just shows the amount of detail that they do put into his characters. That Generation 1 can go in depth, it's not just plain, it is plain and simplistic to a degree, but if you take a closer look and look at the facial expressions and you look at all the little inner parts around the area, it just goes to show that Generation 1 can very well work in live action. Now moving on to the next character, Wheeljack, to which he says, Wheeljack was the first Transformer I designed for the show. Wheeljack was a specific character that director Travis Knight wanted in the movie, so I figured I'd better do him first to fine tune him, the most compared to other Transformers. Next up is Ironhide, the basest body of the Autobot army. Funny how this was designed first, and it's not that featured that much in the final movie. Now one thing to say about Ironhide and Ratchet's head, like close up as we see the CGI model there, it looks really bizarre up close, like the lining around the mouth isn't that like thick enough, I don't know how to really describe that, but it just looks like a skull design a little bit, like if you could do a little sketch over that, it looks more like a skull face a little bit. It's still a good design, don't get me wrong, but just looking at it close up, but still regardless, yes, the designs, as I've said before, capture the essence of the Generation 1 mold. Ratchet was mostly an afterthought. After he designed the Ironhide design, we needed to populate the Cybertron scene a lot with a lot of Autobots, and we didn't have a lot of time to do it, so we essentially cloned Ironhide, the design, and changed the colours and replaced the heads and had them as a part of the Autobot army. And Ratchet was the only unique clone, since he ended up being featured more prominently, and because all of this you can see that Ratchet's artwork is a little bit more rough, I only did a quick colour swap to use as a colour guide. But it goes like it did in the original cartoon anyway. Ratchet and Ironhide throughout the series for the most part have always been copies of each other, but only tweaked up in a certain way. Obviously the personalities are wildly different, but it just goes to show how little time they really had when it came to making this scene. Next up we have RC, to which Steven says, by far my favourite Transformer design for the movie. For all these concepts, I tried to retain the essence of the Generation 1 cartoon designs. I grew up with them, so I wanted to update the designs, not change them. Next up is Shockwave, to which he says, it's my second favourite Transformer to work on. Yes, he's thick. Deal with it. It's unfortunate that I didn't elaborate a little bit more about this Shockwave design, but I think a lot of words are really said by the fans themselves of how just awesome it looks, by just how badass Shockwave was in this movie and how we definitely want to see him again in the future with this design, acting a lot more. And last but not least is Ravage, a collab design done with the talented Carl Lingberg. We originally tried the Puma approach, but as we progressed and began wondering why Ravage should look like a creature from Earth, we tried to make him more of a hybrid, inspired by dragons, wolves, and the Puma. We put those together for the final version. Yes, Ravage, out of all of the Generation 1 designs, has been changed the most. To which I can understand his statement. You know, of course it'd be weird having a Puma on Cybertron. It's like, hang on a minute, they've not gone to Earth yet. So let's just change up a little bit, and obviously when Ravage comes to Earth, he'll be able to make that his final design as the Puma. Still just looking at this character from all sorts of different angles, underneath, at top, and looking at the missiles up close, all kinds of parts that form this creature, just looks absolutely badass. I love the missiles on his sides as well, just really really cool. You can tell a lot of heart and thought went into making these designs really pop out and make fans recognize who we're looking at on screen. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say today on the Transformers concept art designs. I think this might be it for now, unless we get anything new in the future, but we have covered a lot of concept art in the Transformers Bumblebee movie, so who knows if we'll get any more sort of snippet details in the future of other characters, but I think we've pretty much got all that we could have. If you are new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on that notification bell to get all updates instantly. This has been Common and Cam, and until the next video, goodbye.